what do you guys think, having a coach like Coach Sutton, what do you think that's done for this program, who it was a little bit scary when Coach Noble left?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, of course, we had Lou Johnson, Mimi Davis both come with him from Mercer. So we got the package coming right up, don't we, Adam?
Yeah, we do have the package coming up right now, so we're going to take a look at Michael Santiago's package that he did with Addison Heidemann and the volleyball team.
At this level.
However, it's not just Heidemann leading this team and mentoring younger players, but it's also the 3 other seniors setting the table for the team to follow their example.
I think it's very evident that we have a lot of older people on the team, as well as that leadership, a lot of playing experience, and I think that's very evident when we play and just when we practice. I mean, even in practice today, we were talking about how we are all able to give each other feedback. Everyone's very mature in the fact that, like, nobody takes it the wrong way. Like, we all want to get better. So the way we can communicate with each other has just leveled up.
All of this stemmed from a new coaching era in App State volleyball, ushered in by new head coach Chad Sutton.
I like the way that he coaches his players and his style of game. He has a lot of good strategies that he brings to us, and just his coaching philosophy in general. One thing he's really passionate about is serve and pass, and you can see that when he was at Mercer, what he brought to them there. And I mean, we hope to have those same type of statistics here that they did at Mercer last year. And I think that with him being here and the entire coaching staff, I think that the volleyball game here at App State is going to just keep elevating. I mean, we talk a lot about culture. We talk about taking things over the top. So that's everything we're doing. Like, there's things in practice that are non-negotiables that, like, we have to do. And I think it's a lot about every single day, how can we get better? We know the Sun Belt is a tough conference, so it really does take us doing everything that we can do inside volleyball, outside volleyball, and just taking it over the top.
Reporting for the A Game with App TV, Michael Santiago.
Yeah, and Michael, in that package, you got to have an exclusive look at App State volleyball. I mean, what was that like for you? What was that experience like?
I'll be honest. Addison really is a student of the game. I mean, it shows when she plays, but we also saw that, of course, when I interviewed her. And even for a good few minutes after the interview, we were just talking about the game after the cameras are off. It really was a pleasure to, be around the team, be around Addison especially.
Yeah, and of course, we know Addison Heidemann came from Iowa State. She was one of the very successful transfers in this App State team. I mean, you said she's a student of the game. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's clear when you see the opposing team do something. She's on it almost before anyone else on the court is. It's truly incredible. And, as you mentioned, she came from Iowa State, and the level of competition there, coming down to App State, she's really bought into the system, and that's rubbed off on every other player.
Yeah, and of course you can tell that she's really become kind of a leader for that team, right, as she's one of the upperclassmen in that team. They have a few other seniors on that team. Do you want to talk about those people as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course, every time we talk App State volleyball, we talk Maya Winterhoff, but there's Kiana Mackey as well, and having those two on the same team after Kiana came in from Georgia State is just unfair, let's be honest. Both of them are racking up kills this season. While everyone's still trying to catch Lewis L. in the nation, I think Winterhoff's got a very solid shot to do it, thanks to Heidemann.
Yeah, and I know, Eddie, we talked a little bit about this volleyball team prior to this. We talked about their long sets and their ability to win games. I mean, what have you seen so far this season?
I mean, absolutely. They've taken at least 4, about 5 matches into that fifth set. They've really made those opposing teams work. And they have a really good ability to tire out those opposing teams. They've worked really hard this season at just building up their energy, building up their stamina, and making everything roll pretty good into those fifth sets. And then they've come out with the victory.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I noticed was this is a very gritty team, right? They had multiple wins so far this season where they go down early in the game, they fall in early sets, and they just managed to have the staying power to grind out those long games, those long sets. It's a really fun team to watch. If you can go out and watch App State volleyball, I would highly recommend it. They're a great time. But right now, talking about this package, Michael, I mean, with the volleyball team, what do you think is kind of the the forecast for the rest of the season?
I think really they just need to clean up some of the, especially early on in the season, we saw a lot of service errors, just a lot of blocks going out of bounds, just small things that they need to clean up, and I think they will clean up. I think they're the favorites for the Sun Belt this season.
Yeah, and how do you guys think they clean those things up? Like, how long is that process going to take, right?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just keeping your head in the game. It's really that simple. You don't have to, just don't overthink it. And I think that's if any weakness, that's the one weakness we've had this season where, you'll just overthink something. And, when you think about something too hard, you tend to make a mistake. And I think as long as the Mountaineers don't get in their own way, they'll be all right.
Yeah, and of course they have a Power 5 win right now over Duke earlier this year. That was an electric win. We had some friends calling that game on the radio broadcast. I mean, did you guys happen to catch that game at all?
Yeah, I was actually there filming that one for the package. As you saw, there was a lot of shots of that win in there.
Yeah, and do you want to talk about the energy in the arena whenever there's a home App State volleyball game? Because it looks electric in there, man.
Oh, it's fantastic. Coach Sutton does a really good job of getting one fan to uplift everyone else, and once one person gets everyone going, the whole building's rocking.
Yeah, and Eddie, have you been out to any of those games yet this year?
Absolutely. It is quite the environment. And, like he mentioned, Coach Sutton, coming in, just amping up the crowd, really getting things going. The crowd is such a big factor to their games, and I think the environment that they play in the Holmes Convocation Center is just wonderful for their game.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes Convocation Center, it's a great environment for volleyball, basketball, any of the sports we got going on there. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now, so don't go anywhere. When we're back, we're going to talk about some App State volleyball, or some App State field hockey.
We don't play sports, we talk about them. Tune into the A-Game on App TV.
Welcome to a special edition of Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Emma Tuss.
And I am Matthew Sharp. This is a special episode indeed.
Welcome back to Black It Up. I'm your host, Rhea Autry.
Buenos días, Boone. Estamos aquí en Biz Ed en la noche de baile. El género es música latina.
The video back. Hey, can I get the video back?
Add all these things to your wardrobe. Spice up your life.
Welcome back to a new episode of Connected Cultures.
Hello and welcome to Religion and Life. I'm your host, Ozzy Ostwald.
Hi everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Get Bacon with App TV.
Welcome back to the A-Game Live.
Good evening, Insomniacs. My name is Sadie Weiss, and I am the Chancellor of Uplate University.
App State field hockey is currently having an excellent season, getting ranked for the first time in history of their program. They had a 5-4 win over JMU in overtime. After that, they were ranked, and while the offense has been firing on all cylinders, the defense has been anchored by goaltender Claire Grenis. Our very own Blaine Williams is able to bring you the story.
I would say that one word to describe our team is resilient. I think there's been no challenge this season that we haven't faced, even in moments of adversity when we're facing one of the top teams in the country. Holding our own and going out there and making it through all the hill and valley moments. That's something that Coach M likes to say a lot. Making it through that and just having each other's backs, regardless of a win or a loss, I think has been so impressive, and it's led us to a lot of success. Just immediately getting out there and watching the sunrise with each other and working really hard at the sport that we love, and it's just always having those moments of gratitude, I think has really helped us this season, and just continuing that throughout the season. No matter what happens, like wins, losses, whatever, I think that just continuing to stay true to ourselves is going to really propel us far. The team chemistry is definitely that we try to get each other excited to have fun. Anytime that somebody makes a mistake on the field, the first thing that somebody says to them is, "You're good, you got the next one." But then eventually it turns into, "Let's have fun." And let's have fun together. And all the defenders, when we meet right before we go out on the field, we all hit each other's sticks and we say, "I got your back." And we really mean that. Whenever somebody makes a mistake, it's always we're going to pick you up and move on to the next one. Also, every time that we're leaving the locker room, even just out to practice, everybody has to touch the sign that says, "Today I give my all for Appalachian State." But we do like to have fun too. Whenever somebody makes a little mistake, we like to laugh and we move on to the next one really quickly. And it's always fun to see your teammates score or see your teammates make a save. So we also like to have fun in that way. And anytime that we have a win, we love to have fun with each other and just dance around with each other and have a good time. And it's always a good feeling. And our coaches are the same way too. We're really lucky in that way. If I didn't have that family feeling, I would not care. The wins wouldn't feel as good, and I wouldn't care so much about winning if it didn't feel like a family. We are really hungry for a championship this year. We want to make sure that this year we're winning not just the regular season, but also the conference championship. We have 2 regular season titles under our belt, but we want more. We're not satisfied yet, and if there's anything that I want in my last season, it's that, and then to continue this legacy for the program of being a championship team. I really want to end on a high note. I want that for the seniors too. And just continuing to make that a standard of the program, I think will serve the underclassmen so well too. And just leaving the program in really good hands. And I feel so fortunate to be on a team where we can say that it's a tradition to be a champion.
We are now joined by the head coach of App State Field Hockey, Emily Dinsmore. Coach, we just heard a little bit about Claire Grenis, who you've now had the pleasure of coaching for 5 years. What is that development like? What is it like spending 5 years with one player?
Yeah, I think it's incredible to have someone that's invested in the program for that amount of years, and to take her 5th year. Last year she really did well for us in Cage and became a starter, and she, all of those years compile and allow her to gain the experience needed to be a 5th year senior captain, starting goalkeeper for us. And so, yeah, it's having that experience and having that seniority on our team is it's invaluable. Or it's very valuable.
Absolutely, Coach. Now I want to take it back in time a little bit. You played field hockey in college. What's the story like? How did you get into field hockey? Just walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I grew up in Maryland, and I played field hockey and lacrosse all growing up, and field hockey was always something that I loved. And then I had the opportunity to play in college. I actually played at Liberty University, who we're playing tomorrow, so that's kind of fun. Get to play my alma mater. And yeah, it's just a sport that, my older cousins did it, and then I kind of got into it. I was always a soccer player, and then I kind of got into field hockey, and it just became a passion, and here we are. I get to still do it today, and I love what I do.
Yeah, and you actually just mentioned it, but I was going to ask later. You're about to play your alma mater, Liberty. What is it like having, those Liberty jerseys on the other side for you?
Yeah, I think it's always just it's fun to compete against Liberty. They're a really good team. Obviously, yeah, my alma mater, and I have a lot of respect for their coaching staff. I'm really good friends with Nikki, their head coach, and so every time we play, it's always a really good game, very competitive, and they're ranked 6th in the nation right now, and so we know that we have a tall task ahead of us tomorrow, and it's going to be fun to kind of go out there and compete.
Coach, you arrived at App State in 2017, and you were working with the defense, and you've been really successful. Stepping into this head coach role, what has that been like, and what can you attribute kind of this hot start your team's made so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm super thankful this is my 9th season at App, so 3rd as head coach, and yeah, I think that transition from an assistant to a head coach, it took me a little bit to kind of, get used to some things, and there was some growing, and I mean, I'm still growing as a coach, as a head coach, and now it's, yeah, I think it's just been great to kind of implement some things that I wanted to as an assistant, and now in the head coach role. Yeah, I can kind of implement some of my style and things like that, and then our assistant coaches really help with that too.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Coach.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead, do a quick break, and we'll be right back after that. Don't go anywhere.
Bryce in the shotgun takes a snap. Troy sends 4. Bryce rolls left, gonna heave it deep, and it's not gonna get there. It's caught by Christian Horn. He's around the outside, and he scores! He scores! App State wins! Holy mother meatballs! It's a touchdown for App State on a Hail Mary! Christian Horn! Touchdown!
Buenos días, Boom.
Oh, we're back here right now. We're going to go ahead and we are going to talk about App State soccer right now. We are joined by Kendall Race, who actually just got to work a little bit with App State soccer. I mean, Kendall, you've got to spend a lot of time in the locker room. We saw kind of some of your work you did. What's that culture like right now in there?
I think it's very nice and very fortunate for us to be able to go out into the field and be able to interview those players and even get into the locker room and just see what Olivia's pregame was and what she does to get ready for a big game like that.
Yeah, and Olivia, one of the part of that big midfield for App State. They're very talented, the 3 midfielders they usually roll out each game. I mean, spending time with Olivia Simon, you saw her preparation keeps it loose. Do you think there's some sort of like benefit to that with how structured the game of soccer is and staying loose prior to the game?
Yes, when I knew Olivia when we were younger, we played soccer together, so we have a bit of good backstory, and Olivia has always been very calming. She's been a very calm soul, and having someone in the midfield being calm, being able to play that ball to the left, play that ball to the right, it's very nice to have someone that's relaxed in the midfield to play those forwards, to play those strikers, and yeah, and just play with the ball.
And you actually just mentioned it, so you played with Olivia growing up. I mean, back then, did you knew she was going to be a D1 player?
I knew it from the start. She always guest played for teams. She always played older than what she was. She is a junior, which is crazy. She is the captain of the App State soccer team, and being a junior and being so young and getting that captain position, I could tell from the start when I first met her, probably in middle school, that she was going to be a leader someday.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kendall. That's going to be it right now for App State soccer. We're going to go ahead and throw to another break right now. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're ready to
Bryce in the shotgun takes a snap. Troy sends 4. Bryce rolls left, gonna heave it deep, and it's not gonna get there. It's caught by Christian Horn. He's around the outside, and he scores! He scores! App State wins! Holy mother meatballs! It's a touchdown for App State on a Hail Mary! Christian Horn! Touchdown!
Buenos días, Boone.
And since we're still here talking App State soccer, we're going to go ahead and throw it to a package that Kendall actually did with the App State soccer team.
What has been your favorite memory so far of the 3 years that you've been playing here?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, every game day, like pregame energy in the locker room is just so much fun, and like everyone is just so excited. I definitely think that's probably number one, but it's hard to pick number one.
Okay, so what would you say, looking at this locker, what's your pregame? What do you like to do?
So usually right when I get here, I do my slick back, and then, you know, I hang out with the team after. I sit here, I usually pick out my verse of the day. I like to put a Bible verse around my ankle. I sometimes listen to music. I have a new thing that I like to do. I like to solve a Rubik's Cube. I just learned a couple days ago. I guess Brooklyn, she's a freshman, she knew how to solve one, and I guess she taught Reagan how to do it. And then Reagan taught Alicia, Alicia taught me, and now everyone's just trying to learn because it's kind of cool.
So with your team, like, supporting you and being behind you, what makes them just so unique? What from all the other teams that you've been on, what makes them
Honestly,
so unique?
our connection, just like off the field, is so amazing. I know I could text any person on the team if I was bored and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know. I just think we all just really love each other, and we love being around each other. And I think growing up, like,
Carter Marshbanks, who is checking out the energy around Boone as there's a ton of tailgates going on. Carter, what are you seeing right now?
Welcome to a special edition of Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Emma Tuss.
And take
I am
another
Matthew
quick
Sharp.
break
This is a
right now after that report from Carter.
Welcome to a special edition of Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Emma Tuss.
And I am Matthew Sharp. This is a special episode indeed.
Welcome back to Black It Up. I'm your host, Raya Autry.
Buenos días, Boone. Estamos aquí en Biz Ed en la noche de baile. El género es música latina.
The video back. Hey, can I get the video back?
Add all these things to your wardrobe, spice up your life.
Welcome back to a new episode of Connected Cultures.
Come on. Hello and welcome to Religion and Life. I'm your host, Ozzy Ostwald.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Get Bacon with App TV.
Welcome back to the A-Game Live.
Good evening, Insomniacs. My name is Sadie Weiss, and I am the Chancellor of Uplate University.
ISO!
We don't play sports, we talk about them. Tune into the A-Game on App TV.
Well, we've talked about some other App State teams, but the main event of the day, of course, App State football. But before we get into talking about the matchup versus Oregon State, we are joined right now by Jordan Brown, who's going to talk to us a little bit about last week's matchup versus Boise State. Jordan, we know we fell last week against the Boise State Broncos. What did you see in that game that you think the Mountaineers need to change coming into this week?
Yeah, it starts with fast starts. They have to start fast and it mainly pursue on the defense. 83% in the red zone. They have converted successful rate, and we have unable to get pressure on the quarterback. 5% unable to get pressure on the quarterback. So we got to start fast, and we got to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, that goes right along with what I'm saying. But, Jordan, I see a little bit differently. I saw that we were able to get a little bit of pressure on Boise State's quarterback. Obviously, they have such a strong O-line. They returned the whole team from their CFP run last year on their O-line. But App State was able to get the most sacks out of anyone this season. They got 2 sacks against Boise State's O-line in their game. That was the most sacks that any team was able to get against Boise's O-line. And I think our D-line is also really good at being able to stop the run. We were able to force Boise. They're typically a run-first offense, and I think we were able to force them to go to sort of an air raid style. This was difficult for them at first because the team's identity has always been a run-first offense, but they were able to stretch it out and go over the top of our heads. But App State's D-line was very, very good in that aspect of stopping the run against Boise.
Yeah, and we've talked about them stopping the run, of course, but now that's the bad. But there were some bright spots in the game. There were some good moments App State had. I mean, what's one of the good things you guys saw there?
Well, the running game was great with Rashad DeBillion. DeBillion obviously is the 8th best running back in the nation. 5.3 a pop every game, and he has 583 yards on the season. So he has been our identity, and we have to run with him more in better situations and not being able to use him a lot.
Yeah. And now, Adam, I kind of want to flip it over to the receivers. I see the receivers as sort of a bright side. While we have relied heavily on DeBinion during this time throughout the start of the season, our receivers are very good. We have very, very athletic receivers, able to find space in the open field, very fast, but they're also very strong and can kind of create separation on a play and come down with the ball. I want to talk about Jaden Barnes. In Jaden Barnes, he spent 2 years at the FCF level. Some would call him the gem of the portal. We were able to snag him here. In 2024, he had over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he's on pace to do the same here. On the other side with him is Dalton Stroman. He's been a vet for this team. It's his 5th year on the team. He's 6'4", 210 pounds, super physical. He'll fight for any balls. So if any balls are coming his way, he's able to fight for them and try to come down with it.
Yeah, and I mean, you've hit all the points I wanted to hit. But going back on the running game, we talked a little bit about Rashad Dubinion. One of the things the Mountaineers have been doing is turning the ball over, right? Especially in the run game. And we talked about this before. I would point out the point that getting Jakari Lewis is paramount for this offense. Getting Jakari Lewis involved is paramount for this offense. We've seen him get a few touches, but with his limited time in touches, he's had plenty of success in the carries he's had. He has a couple touchdowns on the year. And we saw last week he had 7 carries, which allowed Dubinion to kind of have less of a heavy workload, and it allowed Dubinion to probably play what looked like a really good game from him against a Boise State team where, not many things looked as comfortable as we wanted to that week.
Yeah, well, like we said, Dubinion has been successful, and he has just been great for this organization and great for this football team. Like I said, he is the engine that we run, and for a guy like that, we want to be able to use him, but we want to be able to not use him a lot and take the pressure off of him.
And weirdly enough, one of the bright spots last week was actually the special teams. Do you guys want to talk about what you saw out of the punt team last weekend, actually?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking into the punt team, our punter was able to put 3 punts within the 10-yard line against Boise, starting with pretty bad field position, and that allowed App State's defense to kind of try to push them, keep them towards their end of the field.
Yeah, and any offense that you're going to ask to get 90 yards on a drive, it's going to be a tall task for anyone. Jordan, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Our punt team is great, and I think Barnes has been a showstopper at that, being able to give us good field position and all that. So I feel really good about our special teams.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about it. Barnes is an incredibly athletic receiver. He's very shifty, able to go side to side, east-west. Just like to see him go a little bit more north to south in these punt returns. But as he does, he's just doing a phenomenal job flying around there. But what are some other things you guys want to touch on from last weekend?
Well, I would have to say A.J. Swan. A.J. Swan committed 12 turnovers. He has to be better, not forcing turnovers and everything. He has to be real better and perceive that. And that goes with coaching, and they have to take the pressure off of him.
All right, thank you so much, Jordan, and that's going to be it right now for the football section, or the Boise State section, as I say. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be talking about Oregon State football in this matchup with App State. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break.
We are the Mountaineers.
Buenos dias, Boom.
Bryce in the shotgun takes a snap. Troy sends 4. Bryce rolls left, gonna heave it deep, and it's not gonna get there. It's caught by Christian Horn. He's around the outside, and it scores! He scores! App State wins! Holy mother meatballs! It's a touchdown for App State on a Hail Mary! Christian Horn! Touchdown!
Welcome to a special edition of Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Emma Tuss.
And I am Matthew Sharp. This is a special episode indeed.
Welcome back to Black It Up. I'm your host, Raya Autry.
Buenos días, Boone. Estamos aquí en Biz Ed en la noche de baile. El género es música latina.
The video back. Hey, can I get the video back?
Add all these things to your wardrobe. Spice up your life.
Welcome back to a new episode of Connected Cultures.
Come on.
Hello and welcome to Religion and Life. I'm your host, Ozzy Ostwald.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Get Bacon with App TV.
Welcome back to the A Game Live.
Good evening, Insomniacs. My name is Sadie Weiss, and I am the Chancellor of Uplate University.
ISO, ISO.
We don't play sports, we talk about them. Tune into the A Game on App TV.
The energy is palpable in Boone right now as we have a sellout crowd and full of terrible towels, it looks like. Yellow towels all over the seats. We're going to throw it to Dylan Shepard right now, who's at the stadium right now, getting us a vibe on what's going to be like today. Dylan, and after that, we're going to go ahead and finally preview this football game. We know everyone's so excited. We're joined by Nick Norred right now, who's going to tell us a little bit about what we should expect out of the Oregon State Beavers coming into this game.
Absolutely, Adam. Oregon State's coming into this game 0-5 and second in the Pac-12, mind you, out of 2. But this team is a team that's sort of been struggling. Their special teams, only 3 for 6 on field goals, all of those missed within the 50. They've been struggling to maintain leads in games. Like last week versus Houston, they were up by 14 going into the 4th, and they gave up 14 points in 6 minutes and eventually lost that game in overtime. So this is a team that, even though there are some bright stars within the roster, they do need to figure themselves out, and they are in a rebuild.
Yeah, and I know, Eddie, you've looked into some players at Oregon State that have done pretty well so far in this season. Who are some guys that you want to name right now?
Yeah, I want to go immediately to Trent Walker. App State needs to stop Trent Walker. He had almost 1,000 yards last year in 2024, only 2 touchdowns. He has 405 yards this year. He doesn't have a touchdown. He's going to be hungry for a touchdown this game on what he sees as a weak App State secondary. So he's really going to try to exploit them. So Trent Walker, they're going to have to stop him and do their job there.
Right, thank you so much. That's going to be it from us right here, right now at the A Game Live. Go ahead and listen to the radio broadcast on 90.5 WASU for the football game. We also want to say thank you to everyone who worked on the show, all the live cast and crew. You guys are amazing. This has been phenomenal. Thank you so much, and see you next time here on A Game Live.